Sup guys? So another year under our belt and officially Happy New Year to everyone out there. I'm happy to say that this year my best of list was a lot longer than my worst of list. So I think that speaks volumes to the type of movies we got in 2018. Or at least the type of movies I saw. Because I always try to see as much as possible, not just the blockbuster content, but to seek out films that are opening in limited release and Netflix, all these different sorts of things. And based on that, I built my list. So you guys are going to see me staring this way every now and again because my laptop is right there. I can't remember it all off the top of my head, but I wanted to just run through quickly with you guys some of the stuff that made, well, the ones that made my top 10 and the stuff that I didn't want to leave out because I just had to mention. So this is going to be the best of, or my best of, based on what I saw, movies of 2018. So just quickly, I'm going to run through some honorable mentions, so to speak. Here we go. On my honorables mention list, we have Black Panther, Annihilation, Unsane, that movie that Steven Soderbergh did completely with an iPhone, that which is insane. Upgrade, Halloween, Bad Times at El Royale. I just actually caught up with that one and I had a blast with it. The tension is very much palatable in that movie, and what I liked about it as well is you didn't really know who was going to make it to the end, so that's always awesome. That's always what you want for a thriller. Searching, A Simple Favor, Mandy, Nick Cage doing his most Nick Cageiest and doing it so well. That movie is such an acid trip of a film, but I really enjoyed it as well. Venom. Yes, Venom makes my best of list. Fight me. No, but all kidding aside, guys, I went into that expecting nothing and I actually enjoyed it. And I think that goes to Tom Hardy, but that Eddie Brock Venom relationship, I bought it. I was sold on it. So it makes my best of list. The Clove Hitch Killer. Very good horror movie if you haven't seen it, or I should say thriller. Bumblebee. I never thought another Transformers movie would make a best of list for me, but Bumblebee, what can I say? It's a sweet film and it's very 80s, very retro, and very well done. So props to them on getting Transformers right. And I Kill Giants, and of course Aquaman. So that's all of my honorable mentions. So I'm going to get in very quickly to my top 10 films of 2018. Starting with Incredibles 2. Waited 14 years for this one and it did not disappoint. I loved most of it, and granted it was a lot more complex a tale, what they were going for, but I think they sold it. I think it was a solid follow-up to a fantastic film, which is still my all-time favorite Pixar film. Number 9, Deadpool 2. Again, had a lot of fun with it. As much as you could tell they had more money, it still felt like it did not veer off track from what we got with the first Deadpool. Ryan was awesome, and I have to say Josh Brolin as Cable, I want more of that. Once Deadpool stays on this track, I don't think we're going to have a problem with this character in the future. So I haven't seen Once Upon a Deadpool. If anybody's seen it, is it any good? Does it do anything differently, or is it all just the same stuff with all the blood and the cussing cut out? I have no idea. My number 8, A Quiet Place. Yeah, horror movies had a fun time this year with films like Upgrade, the remake, not really remake, but reboosting of Halloween. We got a lot of solid good stuff this year. The Clove Hitch Killer. I don't know how you feel about The House That Jack Built. I'm still on the fence with that one. But overall, we keep getting these solid, intelligent horror flicks. And I, for one, hope 2019 keeps that ball rolling. This was a winner for me. What we got? Number 7 on my list is Creed 2. Solid flick. Fantastically acted, well paced, great score, very well choreographed fight sequences. I don't feel like we need a Creed 3. I felt like the story was told to perfection here, but we'll have to wait and see. But Creed 2 is definitely one that you should see if you haven't caught up with it as yet. Number 6, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yay! Yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. I mean, I know I'm hearing some reviews where people have some complaints about it based on how certain characters, I guess, was written for them. I, for one, thought I had a blast with it, and I love the idea that they're selling that anyone can be Spider-Man, you know, and that we can have these multiverse stories being told. It doesn't always have to be about Peter Parker, and that gives us a lot of room to work for and a lot of great entertaining films in the Spider-Verse to look forward to. So huge thumbs up. I had a blast with that one. Number 5, Paddington 2. I adore this movie. This is such a sweet, warm, heartfelt type of film, and usually I'm kind of cynical, you know. I tend to think these things hit the same beats, but I just loved Paddington, and Paddington 2, it took what we got in the first one and it just delivered more sweetness, more funny. He has a great look to him. I haven't seen Christopher Robin as yet, but if it's like this, I'm sure it's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen Paddington 2, please don't let the fact that it's a CG bear keep you from watching this. It's just a wonderful, wonderful tale. My number 4 would be Avengers Infinity War. This is where my list, it got really hard to pick who should be higher up or what have you, and I'm sure for a lot of people this is their number 1. I, like everybody else, sat down there and just, oh my god, Marvel just hit you in the gut, and we didn't know what to expect, and we didn't know what we should be feeling. And Marvel, they have this thing down to a science now. These films are so damn good. You can sit there and just discuss it for hours and hours with your friends and never get bored. I am looking forward to Endgame, but if they did this to, oh my god, I think we have to all walk into that cinema with a cup, whether or not you need one, because Marvel is not pulling any punches anymore, and I for one love it. I loved what they did, and I can't wait to see Endgame. My number 3 is A Star Is Born, the movie that created the soundtrack that's stuck on everybody's iTunes. Yeah, this movie, what is there to say? Third time is a charm. I think this was the third version of this movie. Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, they knocked it out the park. They had the chemistry, they had the story, they had the music. Most of this film works effortlessly for me. I had very minor issues with it. You can check my review on it to see what I'm talking about. But this was a stellar film with fantastic casting. And I don't know, it was one of those things where, you know, at this point at this time, it just worked perfectly. And yeah, what else is there to say? But they deserve all the awards and accolades that are coming their way. But there was one music biopic that, I don't know, maybe it's because I love the music of the band. Maybe it's, I know for some people it didn't deliver enough in certain historical elements. But my next was Bohemian Rhapsody. It's my number 2. This movie, I have not cried in cinema or watching a film in such a long time. And Rami Malek does such a fantastic job. He has Freddie Mercury that I was sold. Like I said, I know for some people it didn't have enough meat on its bones in terms of the background and the band members and that sort of thing. But what it did, it delivered in spades for me with the music. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody ended up just skyrocketing on the charts, you know, for a whole entire new generation. And that Live Aid concert, that got me right here. So that for me, I don't know, it resonated more with me than A Star Is Born, so it gets the number 2 slot for me. And my number 1 best movie of 2018 is, drumroll please, Mission Impossible Fallout. Wow, I don't know, if you would have told me that an action movie that is, 6 films in, would still be this damn good, I would say no way. And yet, Tom Cruise and his team somehow always manages to just go that one level higher. This film was fantastic. Visuals, story, action, pacing, editing. I was blown away by this film. I still can't believe how good it is for what it is. You know, it's part of a freaking action franchise, and yet it has managed to just top itself over and over again. And it's not just the action sequences. The way Tom Cruise portrays Ethan Hunt, everybody involved, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, everything just seems to work so well. Henry Cavill looked like he was having a blast doing something besides wearing that cape, and it shows. I adore this movie. I don't know, it was the one film that I saw it and I wanted to see it immediately again. I know for some people be like, what, better than Infinity War? I don't know. For me personally, Marvel has proven themselves time and time again. But to take something like Mission Impossible, such a straightforward seeming thing, it's another spy flick. I mean, James Bond, the 007 franchise, hasn't been able to do that. They haven't been able to be consistently topping themselves. And when you think about it, it's a very similar type of world. And yet, Mission Impossible does it time and time again. So, Fallout gets my #1 spot. And that's it, guys. That's my best stuff for 2018. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button. It's very much appreciated. And let me know in the comments, what were your top 3? You don't have to give me your top 10, but what were your top 3 for 2018? Or your top 5 even? Have you seen most of the movies that we've talked about? And if so, what did you think about them? If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face over there. And that's it, guys. So again, Happy New Year, and let's see what they give us in 2019. Bye bye, guys.